Hello, guys, gals, and non-binary pals. I am Zach, and we are here with that D&D podcast. Tonight, I am your editor-in-chief for Time Force Alpha Prime, our Worlds in Peril game, featuring these three yahoos and a bunch of time travel weirdness. I will let them introduce themselves, starting, I guess, with somebody who's not Mike and looking for something on his computer.
I guess I go first. Hi, I'm Adam. I'll be playing the Revenant today. Someone who's been touched inappropriately by death and doesn't really appreciate it.
Show us on the voodoo doll. Where they touched you?
I think I gave him a name last time, but I can't remember what it was.
Let me see if I have it recorded. I may or may not.
I certainly didn't write it down on the sheet.
You gave us an alias name, I remember.
Yeah, that's right. I just kind of choose random names because I'm dead. I don't have a legal name anymore. Mick? Yeah, Mick.
Mick was the name you're currently running under, yes.
So this month I'll be Mick.
Okay.
I guess that brings me. I am Jonathan. I am playing Ruck Sack, an intergalactic traveler of extreme renown, or that's what he likes to believe.
Okay. Don't forget your sidekick.
Saber-tooth timer or Sad Luck Chuck.
Or your
alien symbiote
thing.
Yeah.
You got your fucking entourage at this point. You're sort of like Silver Age Superman. We're just like, give me the gorilla person and the recorder, and yeah.
When we have the Ruck Mutt, we'll know that you've reached. Hey there, everybody. Mike J. Dark Simber right here. GM Mike, if you like, but not tonight. I'm playing Firefly, the Bronze Age heroine of what's the reformed criminal by means of spooky pact with the devil. Probably, we'll see.
Yes. So for those who are just picking up this issue and have not seen this previously, our city, Argent City, has been split into several different time periods, roughly corresponding with comic book eras of comic book sort of production, right? So we have Silver City, which is the oldest one. It's all about 1950s and 60s super science and space invaders and that sort of thing. The Bronze Age, Bronze Bridges, which is more eclectic and diverse and sort of desaturated grays and brown tones because that's what they wind up printing in. But it's all about the kung fu and the being a teenage superhero and the magic stuff. It's a mixed bag. Then we have our Steelport setting, which is the mid 80s to mid 90s, rushing up on the 2000s, which is much more beaten down and gritty and brutal and unhappy. And if you're a comic book fan, you should probably be able to recognize this. Hopefully that was what I was going for. If you're not, then you probably still know something that I'm talking about based on what you've seen of comic book stuff. Our heroes are unique in that they have A, superpowers, and B, the ability to travel between these time zones. And they have a mentor /
Stalker in the form of the Voyeur, who I didn't name. I want to make that very clear. I did not name the person that orbits the city in a giant invisible spaceship. The Voyeur, that was someone else. I'll take the credit for it.
Mm-hmm. And we're all sort of trying to figure out what the hell's going on, why this is happening. Last issue, we had an incident at Queensbridge College that involved a freezing person, two other dead people, and a van dumping them into the river. We had a mugging gone bad in Steelport, and we had Hard Luck Chuck drinking in the middle of the day, and it all culminated at a Silver City Satellites baseball game, wherein a dinosaur was summoned from the past and then Ruck Sack managed to slingshot himself said dinosaur and a saber-tooth tiger we picked up along the way somewhere in time.
And we're still not sure what caused any of that.
Not specifically, no. There seems to be a machine that Ruck is using to, like, do this thing.
Using P-Nex too.
Yeah, but where it came from is unclear.
Oh, no, these two dudes were carrying it. That explains everything.
Yes, that is true. Two dudes in yellow hazmat suits that were sort of making unintelligible noises to each other sent Ruck through time after he stole their time machine or bomb or whatever you want to call it.
Bomb machine.
And then that left our other two heroes, standing in the infield of Satellite Stadium with multiple dead people. Actually, no, there probably weren't any dead people because the dinosaur ate the ones it killed. And a chunk of sand and water, and then black helicopters circling above.
I'm sure it's fine.
So yeah, let's go back. Let's start with I'm sorry, I've forgotten the code name of the voodoo doll molestation guy. What's his name? The Revenant.
Revenant, yes.
Revenant.
Dead man.
Let's start with the Revenant and Firefly. It is mid to late afternoon, so it's bright lights in the stadium. The crowd is panicked, running. The infield is a mess. All sorts of bad things have happened. There's like multiple different terrains now sort of Venn diagrammed around each other because of various time shenanigans that have happened as they were traveling forward and backward in time.
Does that change, like, does the sports stadium change where they're traveling forwards and backwards through time? Like, is there like a ripple echo in the ground? So, like, are part of the stadium bleachers like the hard corrugated metal of like the 50s, and the rest of it is like, you know, the hard corrugated metal of the 2010s?
the slightly larger seating hard corrugated metal.
Yeah.
No, it's a good idea actually. Yeah. So like as this sort of, because there's been multiple. I think there's been 3 like time explosions in fairly short periods of time, right in this zone. And yes,
like incursions.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
We got to come up with like the science fiction-y name
Time
for the voyeur to like that dictates to us.
Time incursion. I was time incursion and disruption are the
yes.
Been using time disruption with the voyeur, I think, is what I've been calling it. So as it sort of ripples out, you can see it's not entirely clear, especially since you are like standing very near the epicenter of this thing, right? You can still see as the timeline sort of stabilizes in this area, and you look out at the stadium, you can see for a split second the stands are empty and like falling down, and they look like something from the 90s, and then another split second there's panicked people running for the exits, and it's all nicely painted in the silver and green of the satellites, right? The grass at your feet, or the infield around you is nicely manicured, and the next second it's like cracked and nasty, and there's like a broken beer can over here, or a crumpled beer can, and then that goes back away, and you can just see like there's a pool of blood where the first baseman once was, but otherwise looks pretty nice, right? So it's blinking in and out. Time of day is changing. It gets dark, it gets light, it gets dark, it gets light. And that sort of strobe effect slowly is fading back into sort of a normalized Silver Age late 50s baseball game that was just in a terrorist attack sort of aesthetic. What are you guys doing right now? You two.
What are the helicopters? Is there anything identifying by the helicopters that are overhead?
They're just sort of hovering there.
over the stadium, waiting. You get an ominous feeling from them.
I thought they were going to try to intercept the voyeur's blimp.
Oh,
right.
Interesting.
Well, no, I thought that's what you had said. Maybe I misremembered.
It might have been. That isn't actually a very, very fun idea. In your heads, you can tell me, is the voyeur like constantly overhead, like watching you specifically while you're on these missions?
Just Firefly. That's all he really wants to
Just
watch.
Firefly.
For some reason, I don't know why.
Well, yeah.
So
Ever since it got canceled. No. I think like the voyeur, like they have this concept of being not omnipotent, but like they're always trying to watch everywhere, right? But I think they're almost always like invisible.
Okay.
Except like we talked about the first session, like the way that you know that you've been called to join Time Force Alpha Prime is by looking up into the sky and seeing the what horrible thing the watchtower, right?
The watchtower, yeah, I think that was what it's called.
Or the peephole. Wait, no, that's not right.
That is even worse.
So like if it's visible, I'd imagine that the authorities would have some questions. Unless it's just visible to us.
Yeah. Okay. So here's what I'm thinking. Right. You look up in the sky and you can still see the voyeur's watchtower in the sky, and it's light outside most of the time. Like every couple seconds, it's not for a second, right? It's not like the watchtower has like running lights or something like that on it. But most of the time, you can see it up in the skies. It's sort of dark shape. And these helicopters are sort of flying in parallel, and you can see there's instrumentation hanging from the side of it, right? And they're not like flying directly at the watchtower, but you can tell that their movements, it looks like they're flying sort of in parallel. If the watchtower's over here and they're sort of flying in parallel over here, after a couple seconds of a sweep, you can see them sort of steer this direction a little bit.
Right.
And like they're sort of playing battleship with the watchtower somehow.
All right. So I look over to the Revenant's old muskie. I don't know where that came from.
That's
yeah.
All sorts of questions about that one.
Old buried Pete. Yeah, that's closer. That's closer. But your name is Mick. So, and I'll clap on the shoulder and I'll say, "You've got this one, right?"
No problem.
Yeah, you're a people person. Just calm everybody down. Just let them know that everything's gonna be fine. I'm just gonna fly over here to the helicopters real quick, and you can't fly, right? That's not a thing that dead people do.
I mean, I could get up there if I need to.
Right, because you can just kind of float with gravity and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It says Firefly totally in character. Okay, we'll have fun. I'm gonna be right back. And then she like clicks her heels together or whatever, and the rocket skates into the sky.
Okay.
And I'm gonna go interrupt the helicopters.
Okay. We'll come back to that in just a second. Revenant, on the ground, what are you doing? Since you were left to crowd control, I guess? What's the...
Yeah, I guess so.
There's not a ton of... It's really chaotic, but carnage so far has been kept to a minimum. There have been, I think, 2 people eaten, but the thing that was eating them is gone now.
Mm-hmm.
So that seems fun. In its place, there is, and along with Ruck and the saber-tooth tiger that seemed to come out of nowhere, there's a whole lot going on all of a sudden, right? There is like a sort of like flat expanse of sand, and then like a little pool of water that is already bleeding into the infield.
Huh.
Yeah, I think, at least for my part, I will probably just be monitoring the people that are evacuating to make sure nobody's being trampled,
Okay.
and people get out of the stadium without getting hurt.
Okay. Yeah, why don't you give me, real quick, we'll just call that, pull this up real quick. We'll call that a, trying to serve protect. What, that, we're gonna call that a seize control move. So whenever you and another character struggle over a contested goal or objective, maybe not seize control. Give me a roll with your protect.
Okay.
And we'll see how you do. I think this is one of your better ones, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
2d6, right?
Yeah, 2d6 plus your protect stats.
A 7.
There we go. 7. Okay. Yeah. So you do all right. You're gonna keep people from being trampled, but in the meantime, like in the process, you're gonna be like levitating folks and being all like weird death magic-y at them.
Yeah.
They're probably not going to be huge fans of that, especially since you're like not really from the vibe of this place. Like the whole like sort of spawn thing is not something they're super into. So yeah, they're going to be freaked out by your presence, and let's just say somebody has taken notice of the fact that you have been accosting the good people of Silver City with your evil magics.
Yeah,
the
goth kid at the golf club.
Hmm?
This is like the goth kid at the golf club.
Yeah.
Not completely out of place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Somebody's paying attention now. You are now the prime focal point of the attentions of certain authorities within Silver City.
Okay.
So Firefly, you just like rocketeer upwards at these helicopters.
Yeah.
All right. What is your plan once you're in the air? Like you get like eye level. I assume you can like hover, right? You have like fairly good control over your flight.
Oh, totally. I'm not absolutely terrible at that. Was that convincing? I can't tell.
No, really wasn't. Okay, so what are you trying to do then? And I'll tell you if you have to defy danger to be able to do it, essentially. Let's call it that.
All right, so have you ever seen Top Gun?
Yes.
Yeah, I want to fly up and like interpose myself between me and the helicopters and like fly upside down and like just like I want to disrupt them by getting their attention.
Okay, so you want to like buzz the tower and then like do a loop around them while flipping them the bird and all that.
Well, like not necessarily flipping them the bird, but like I am treating the voyeur as an asset that needs to be protected, right? And like and the like normies shouldn't find out about the time force Alpha Prime unless they need to, right? This seems like the heroic thing to do, whether or not that's actually true.
Okay. Yeah. So if control is an issue for your flight method, right? Helicopters are essentially hovering and then moving very slowly around, right?
Right.
So if you're trying to interact with them in a way that's not just like shoot past them and then shoot back, I'm going to call for a defy danger, probably with maneuver.
I am trying to remember what exactly. I'm pulling up the character sheet right now. For some reason, it's not where I normally keep it. Worlds in peril. So 30 seconds. Aha! It is exactly where it should be. And the answer is fly at high speeds and hover in midair are both
great
normal things.
Yeah, then if you can already hover in midair, that's probably just I'm just going to call that out.
So
automatic.
So I'm going to chillax, kind of like between them. Like I don't know if I can. I don't know if I even know what baseball team was playing, right? But because I'm not sure that's a thing on Serenity's radar. But she'll like pretend to do fireworks or whatever.
Okay.
Intentionally between the helicopter and the voyeur ship.
Okay. Just like actual looking fireworks.
Yeah, like painting the logo of the team, or like, let's go sports ball. Right.
Go team.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
How's it feel to be in your town?
Okay. Is fireworks, like the multicolored firework display, is that a thing that you do?
No.
Okay.
No. I can make fire. I don't know that I can make green fire. That sounds hard.
All right. Well, that sounds like a push roll to me. All right.
Yeah, let's do it.
So when you try to push your powers and to concentrate to do something that is not on your powers profile sheet, determine if the power falls under simple, difficult, or borderline. If you could do this, how hard would this be for you? Like, how hard is control versus like power output?
So just projecting fire is simple, but controlling it is difficult.
All right. Well, this seems like a fairly intense version of controlling fire, right?
Yes.
So we'll go ahead and call that difficult. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So why don't you give me a straight 2d6 roll? You can burn. Remember, at any time you can burn bonds.
Nah.
To guarantee yourself a level of success.
I don't want to guarantee success.
Okay. I mean, guarantee meaning that a 0 or a 3 counts as a 7, right?
So just upgrade one step.
Yep.
Can I upgrade a 12?
You cannot. However, on a 10 plus, you do it and you add it to your powers profile. So you can now make fireworks.
Okay.
You can now make fireworks. It's a thing that you can do just forever.
Difficult?
Yeah, add it to where we talked about it being before.
Holy card. Okay, this is cool. I like this game.
Well, bear in mind that if you would have blown that roll, you would have gotten a condition and not gotten to add it to the thing. You would have hurt yourself trying to do this thing, and I probably would have made you roll to see if you blew down a helicopter with your fire.
Right, that was what I was expecting to happen. Like, that seems in line with the character. What happened?
You completely surprised yourself that this worked.
Killed people. Yeah.
This is why we play to see what happens, man.
Yeah.
So you dazzle these people with this fireworks display that's like super sort of not patriotic, but like I'm imagining like in Philadelphia if like a superhero like lit up a bunch of fireworks that had the Phillies logo on it, like people would be losing their minds, right? And people are already losing their minds.
Right.
So the impact is somewhat dulled. Like over the loudspeaker down on the ground, the Revenant hears, "Oh, an excellent display from friend of the team, Firefly." And on the evening news tomorrow night, tonight, there's going to be like a giant. It's going to be in black and white because it's like 1956.
Right. Pretend this is in color.
Exactly. This was amazing looking in person. And yeah, so that happens, and like you're sort of I imagine you on a level with these helicopters, right?
Yeah.
Inside you can see the nearest helicopter. Through the windows, you can see a bunch of people in like flight suit lab coat looking things, right? With like muffs on their ears, and they're like looking at readouts. You can see one of them like, as you like light these fireworks up, just like strip the earphones off, throw them, and like and step back as like sparks sort of like sizzle out of the machine he's looking at, and then like two more of them sort of step back, and one of them points out and looks at you, and it's like.
I produce some sort of Firefly logo and then zoom away.
Nice.
Like the Fantastic Four thing. Whoosh.
Excellent. Okay. Let's finish with Mick, and then we'll head over to see how Ruck is doing time displaced wise. Mick, so you are helping people escape. Are you like doing your zip from shadow to shadow Jason Voorhees thing, or are you like Jeb Bush like jogging between places to do the thing. Like what's the visual I got here?
Yeah, it's going to be bouncing around shadow to shadow,
Okay.
not staying in one place too long.
All right. So as you're doing that, and Firefly, if you're not too preoccupied with your own shenanigans up above, you see this as well. So Mick, you are like keeping people off each other, and sort of at some point you have to levitate a collapsing like gateway or something, like a fence that people are trying to climb out of, so they don't all like fall on each other and everything on the other side, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then from the other side, this like green blur zips up, and suddenly the force that you're having to apply or not apply, like remove, I guess, with your gravity powers, is no longer pertinent because there's this like silver armored, green caped humanoid person, right? Standing there holding up this fence and helping people down from the other side. And through, they have a helmet on, and like a broad green faceplate that's completely opaque. And they look at their head turns to you. You can't tell if they're looking at you because you can't see the visor. But they turn to you and they say, through a very like deeply vocoder voice, "Good work, citizen. I can take it from here."
Okay, if he seems like he's got it, then, or if they seem like they have it, then that's fine.
Yeah, there's no this person is like, or yeah, this being is non-gender specific. It looks like it could be a person like power armor. It could be a robot. Mm-hmm. It could be a lot of things. There's no outside gender signifiers to this thing whatsoever, though. Yeah, so you just like shadow blink away.
Yeah, I'll nod in their direction and then just disappear.
Okay. Yeah, so they sort of they help the last person out of the fence. They lay it down, and then as you're sort of bouncing away, you can see the green of their cape just like blur in another direction and bounce around, and they are apparently helping people, from what you can tell.
Okay. This is someone we've never heard or seen it before.
You may or may not have.
Okay.
I don't know that either of you would have come into contact with this person yet. If you want to, you can declare you have, and I'll just tell you who it is.
If they're like primarily a Silver Age actor, I don't think I would have any reason to have bumped into him before.
Okay. Yes, they are a Silver Age deal.
So yeah, no, I'm fine saying I had.
Okay. All right, yeah. So thus ends the scene at the ballpark. That will clear itself up as it would. Ruck, you there?
I am here. Am I muted?
Not anymore. I got you now. Okay, so you have been, to set the scene for our viewers here, the panel that is your introduction to this issue is you standing, sort of like wobbling and picking yourself up off the ground, with sort of a saber-toothed tiger in your immediate foreground, right? Like a blurry look across Sam at you, and then past you there is a Tyrannosaurus Rex with its legs bound, laying on what looks to be infield dirt. You are standing in about 3 feet of water.
Right.
And the horizon that you can see from here, there's some like rocky outcroppings and things, and there's sort of a thin, what looks like a layer of moss, maybe, on the ground. Yeah, and that's what you can see right now.
All right, well, I think the first question is the magic teleporty thingy. Where is that?
By the Tyrannosaurus's feet.
Of course it is.
That's where you shot it, friend.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't really know of any way to help you with this one. If we're being...
Don't expect me to expect the consequences of my actions.
Also, would there have been some consequence because the dinosaur was floating up in the air?
Oh, yes, the dinosaur would have landed.
And if it was bound, it probably wouldn't have landed gracefully.
I don't know that a giant theropod lands gracefully regardless. You're not going to do a slide fall on you. They're just going to take the hit. Right?
I just imagined a 3-point landing with a Tyrannosaur.
Oh, bam.
It's a hero thing.
Like, if you imagine the length of the lever there, right? They stick out their tiny hand and it doesn't actually reach the ground.
So their face smashing into the...
Yeah. Yeah, no, the dinosaur is somewhat insensate. It's probably safe to approach. As I say, it's about as safe as a still living Tyrannosaurus gets. It's more beat up than it was when you took off. Because yes, a lot of you, including yourself, had to manage landing. Sam had no trouble because Sam's a cat.
Yeah.
You're space person. I'm sure you can land from like 6 feet in the air relatively quickly, easily. Did we determine if the second baseman came with you? I think the second baseman came with you.
Yeah. I think at least one person went back with him.
Yeah, the second baseman's not in frame because he's behind the Tyrannosaurus. So, what are you doing, Ruck?
Oh. Well, damn, you put the second baseman in there. Alright, cause yeah. No, I remember that now. He did. Oh. Wow, I probably don't ride home, Kenny. So kind of makes his way circling around the T-Rex there. A little bit like, hey, Alvarez, you okay?
I'm trying to think if there would have been anybody in the major 1950. It was ironic because I cycled down through my mental list of second basemen. I'm like, that's Latino guy. That's Latino guy. That's Latino guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I get what you're saying. Yeah. Yeah. Alvarez is down. He's sort of picking himself up off the ground and wincing in pain as he tries to. He makes eye contact with you, and he's like, and you can see like some emotion like between relief and or hope crosses his face, and then he like notices the T-Rex, right? Remembers what's happening, and then like you can see him look immediately over your right shoulder,
the saber-tooth tiger,
to where Sam's standing, and like you can tell he's about to bolt. Like he is about to scramble backwards on probably what looks to be probably a busted ankle of some nature.
First response is like, "Come on, we have to get next to the T-Rex so we can get out of here."
Man, you are no. He's like crab walking away from this mess, like over, and you can see he's like scuffling across the ground through that moss, and you can see like with every time his hand hits the ground as he crab walks backwards, he like takes up a chunk of it. Like this stuff is barely attached.
Okay. No, come on, man. You gotta trust me with this. I do this kind of stuff all the time. You gotta just keep rolling forward with it. If you try and like stop and think, bad things start happening.
And that's words of wisdom there. He stops. He takes another couple crab walk steps and then sort of like collapses and grabs his ankle and yells in pain. And it's at that point that you hear a sort of sound of bewildered curiosity / fear from Sam behind you. And the T-Rex spasms, sort of. But if you look at Sam, that's not what Sam's looking at. Sam's eyes are sort of up and over, and if you follow them across, you can see in the distance there is a mountain.
Is it the mountain?
If you had to guess, yes, it is the mountain. It looks a little bit different than what you know from modern day. It is younger looking. In fact, it's so young, it's so like new and sharp looking. It might still be being formed at this point.
Yep.
And there are, I mean, you're from space. There are spaceships circling this thing. Like 3 or 4. It's kind of hard to keep track because they zip around really fast. Like 3 or 4 silver discs. I mean, and you're like you're a ways away from. It's like if you were standing in the baseball diamonds, right?
Yeah.
You are that far away from the mountain as you would be in Silver City. You can see these discs zipping around, and then sort of from that direction, you hear a noise that your brain immediately goes to. That's a propulsion system.
Oh. Well, all right. So one of my moves is expert in the field.
Okay. All right.
When you first encounter an important creature, location, or object, i.e., those silver disc things,
Yes.
tied to your secret knowledge, roll plus investigate.
Let's do it.
10 plus. I tell what it is. 7 to 9. You will tell me something interesting about it, but it's up to you to me to make it relevant. Man.
Okay.
I keep changing tenses in there. All right.
Great.
So this is good because Ruck is really great at investigate.
Bring it.
We don't have character sheets. So.
We don't. Yeah. I want to get character sheets made for this, but we don't have them yet.
Hard rolls is just like, I like clicking buttons.
Yeah, buttons are super convenient. Oh,
yeah, that's what I expected.
All right. So, does it say what happens on a fail, or do I?
It does not. I was just realizing that.
Okay. Okay. So, while you were on your sojourn through space, right? Did you run into any sort of slightly skeezy but generally pretty okay? Like, did you catch a ride on some Ferengi vessel at some point, like ish thing?
Yeah, because I hit it off with them real easily. So
I mean, you seem like the kind of guys would, right?
Yeah.
All right. This is not them, but it's like one of their cousin species, right?
Yep.
And you think, like, if you flag these people down, they might be able to help you out.
So, yeah, okay. So Ruck's gonna pull out his galactic communicator thingy from wherever he stashed it, and it's his because he's holding it.
Yep.
And try to open a frequency with these guys or something.
Okay. All right.
Not Ferengi. How you doing?
Yeah. So you have some sort of some sort of call sign, right? Like some sort of like the greeting for their federation or whatever, right?
Yep.
And you throw that at them, and then silence. Right? Is your communicator directional? Do you have to aim it at the thing?
This time it is because I think it's funny.
Hilarious. Because you don't have you don't know what frequency they're on, so you just point, and it's a blast of a multi-frequency blast that's all directional, right?
Well, especially common stuff like communicators. Ruck pulls out different ones all the time.
Okay. Over and over and over. He actually has 5 or 6 smartphones in the bag too for some reason.
Yeah, he just never thinks about it. It's just whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. So you blast away these guys, and with some sort of Ferengi rule of acquisition, come pick me up or something like that. And what you get back is only intelligible because you have the universal translator, right? But it's remain where you are. You will be. What's a good word? Remain where you are. You will be detained and quarantined. And like some part of your brain, because of what you've already figured out, thinks there must be some sort of translation error. Like detained and quarantined doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Well, and those are words that Ruck does not like at all. Those are bad words.
They're not good ones.
Oh, I don't think I ever named the little buddy dude. But like, remember we were talking about the little robot buddy thingy? Like, I think this is the point in time where the symbiote starts kicking in and being like, "Yo,
I'm gonna be your Jiminy Cricket, and we need to get the fuck out of here."
So like, yeah, they pop in and like point out the fact that was not the language you were expecting. That was some other random language, and they probably don't mean you good things.
These do not appear to be the sentients we attempted to contact. We may need to take evasive action.
So they aren't cool dudes. I thought they were. Turns out they're the fuzz. Planned Dinosaur is looking a lot better right now, man.
Alright, so the Sam is sort of, he starts to cower sort of under the Tyrannosaur's, like, prone form, and then the Tyrannosaur shudders again, and he very quickly, like a cat that had something coming from the side it wasn't expecting, jumps out of the way, and sort of startles and then looks at you like, what in the hell did you get me into this time, friend I've known for 7 total minutes?
Come on, if you're gonna hang with the Ruck, you just gotta deal with this stuff. So he's gonna like pick up Alvarez there and like try and hurry him along to where he can get to the time thingy. Hiding behind the giant dinosaur from the alien space cops. That's how I would summarize the plan.
Okay. Yes. Give me a defy danger, dumb luck. I'm trying to figure out how. I want the dinosaur to have a chance to awake again. Are you fiddling with the time device? Are you thinking that's your ride out of here?
That's current, theory number 1.
Okay.
Or something. That's how I know we can move through time right now. Like, plan B would be to try to get to the mountain, which is pretty far away for a dude with,
It's a ways. I mean, you might be able to produce a scooter or something from your bag. But
it's under possible that I could elsewhere someone else, but that doesn't sound like a fun time. Yeah.
Okay. Give me a defy danger. I guess hiding would probably be like maneuver. If you're concentrating on fixing the thing, it would be investigate. If you're concentrating on like keeping Alvarez quiet and calm, it would probably be persuade.
I think I'm gonna go with maneuver on that one. I think that one makes the most sense to me.
It's like everybody ducks behind the dinosaur, which, by the way, stands out. It's not like it's inconspicuous.
Ruck's not the smartest dude in the world, but it doesn't matter.
All right, Sorry, I am busy finishing. Jesus Christ, Ruck. All right. You successfully hide behind this this dinosaur, and what happens next is because there's not really much other cover around here. The shape that you heard rushing towards you, the silver sort of disc, it's a UFO, it's a flying saucer, flies towards you at high speeds and sort of parks itself not quite directly over the dinosaur, but like just on the other side of the dinosaur from you, right? So it can't quite see you. And then a beam of light opens, like there's a little aperture that opens in the flying saucer, and it's like red beam of light, this green beam of light shoots out, and like lances through the dinosaur's neck, and the dinosaur like stops shuddering. Right? Then the dinosaur's now body levitates off the ground to a height of like 1.5 feet, and the saucer turns and starts flying back towards the mountain.
Just stay still. They can only see movement.
And you and Alvarez and Sam are together, and the body like keeps pace with the flying saucer as it shoots away. And they don't look back, and you're just like left there, like cowering on this beach where the dinosaur used to be. But it's notable, lashed to the legs of the dinosaur is the time bomb.
Yeah.
So,
well, I think that just became somebody else's problem.
well, here's the question for you, smart guy. Do you have a method for getting somewhere else in time? Most likely very far forward?
Not yet.
Okay. Alright, we're gonna leave that for a second. We'll leave that for a second. Firefly and Revenant.
Yep.
You both have outstanding conditions and stuff, right?
No.
Like, are either of you hurt from the last battle?
I don't think I ever got touched last battle.
No, yeah, I don't think anything happened.
Was it just Ruck that got messed up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think my bad stuff happened to someone else. It's probably Ruck.
I remember that now. Well, Ruck kind of put Ruck's self out there a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's right. He's mildly concussed. I should probably remember that.
All right. So, so you go back to your sort of lives, right?
Well, I mean,
But that's you, Mike.
could try getting in contact with our last party member.
Well,
Via the dead dinosaur.
yeah. So if I think this is a great idea. If you have, because normally you folks part ways after a job, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, it totally makes sense. If you have an inkling that something might still be wrong, the voyeur's not saying anything yet, right?
Suspiciously silent.
Well, the voyeur has other things to attend to.
Right. He's the voyeur, not the
Someone else
talker.
to watch.
Right.
Yeah, so, yeah, if you are worried about Ruck or want to do something about it, or just like, do you just like randomly check dead things in the vicinity of your teammates to make sure stuff's okay?
And that's not, I don't know, I could work this some other way that it's not tied into something dead has to be involved.
I mean, that's totally fine too. Yeah. What is, because your sort of power set is magic.
Yeah, it's
right?
mystic in nature, so yeah.
Yeah. That seems like it could be useful in this. Do you want to like, so death is the one eternal constant, right?
Yeah, and it always finds you no matter when and where you are.
It's true. It's true. I like that. So can you use your death powers to see through time and space? Can you zero in on, can you figure out when someone else died or will die? Is that a power you have?
Oh, that's really morbid.
Super morbid. I mean, I'm just throwing stuff out there. If you got like a more thematically appropriate in your mind idea, I'm just putting it out there. I do like the idea that you have like some sort of connection to the time stream for the like Grim Reaper, I will find you thing, right?
Yeah. No, I don't have anything.
Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead. No, go ahead. I was gonna say I don't have anything solid in mind.
Okay, yeah, like I will say this: where Ruck ended up there are not going to be that many like sapiens that are dying.
Mhm.
There aren't going to be that many things on land that are dying. It's possible that I don't know. It's possible that like we have not talked about where your power comes from specifically, have we?
No.
If you want to try looking back through time, or like consulting the records, I think that's a thing that your power set probably allows for mystically.
Okay.
It would be
No,
it
yeah.
would be a push roll like Mike's, I think, because we don't have that anywhere on your sheet. I don't think.
Yeah, I have a blank power slot still, but
Oh,
I
okay.
don't know.
Yeah, that could be it too.
I think a push seems more thematic for what my current power set is sort of trending towards. It seems like something.
Okay.
So yeah.
All right. Yeah, so it's just a straight 2d6 roll. Unless you want, if you want to burn a bond, it would guarantee some degree of success. Or if you don't, then you don't, and that's fine.
I mean, it's Rock. We'll just roll 2d6 and see what happens.
Awesome.
Brutal.
How hard do you think this is? How easy is it for you to access your like?
I want to complain, but I can't in Rock's.
He does this to himself all the time.
Well, here's the thing, right? Like, Ruck is like an alien, a went to space time traveler sort of guy. There are probably like alternate reality splinters where Ruck has died repeatedly, right? Like this is a thing that could have happened to him. It might be that Ruck's easier to find than other people.
We'll see. Yeah, I don't have a whole lot of bonds to be burning either, anyways. So we'll go with
That's true.
a flat roll here and see.
That's true. So
How about a
yeah,
C?
so would this be easy?
Oh,
Would it be simple, difficult, or borderline? Like,
I think this has got to be closer to borderline than anything.
So-
This is
yeah, okay. So in order to do this, like if we're talking borderline, it's got to be something dramatic, right? So you have to like petition some person or some being for power for the opportunity to do this. So you like go talk to some demon, and we'll leave them nameless now, or some like figure of death, or just like a black dog come to you, right?
I imagine. So I still have the connection through the Ankh or whatever the symbol on my chest is, or the artifact in my chest. I think it's I inflict myself with that the death trance power that I have, and knock myself out,
Okay.
and have like the chess game with death effectively.
Okay.
Can I suggest like checkers?
Checkers.
Yeah, and then like you move on to like another game every time just to keep death playing.
Yeah, we started off with like tic-tac-toe or something.
Yeah.
Something real simple. All right, yeah, no. So you put yourself under and you go confront the figure of death. Does it? So you're wearing an Ankh. You have death powers. Does this person look? Is this an Egyptian god sort of thing, or is this like the Grim Reaper? Is this just some like old lady with cookies? Like, what does this person look like to you? What does this force manifest as?
I think it's too early for anything to be visible on the other side of the
Okay.
table. It might just be a hand coming out of the darkness
Okay.
for now,
Okay.
and the spooky voice kind of thing, or a spooky chat bubble, whatever the.
All right. Yeah, I like that. All right, yeah. Give me your roll then.
Okay. A 7.
A 7. Okay. So when you push yourself on a 7 or 9, you can do it, but I'll offer you an ugly choice or a hard bargain in order to do so. You also take a minor condition if it was simple, moderate if it was difficult, or critical if it was borderline. So you take a critical condition, right? Because we decided this is going to be borderline,
Yeah.
right? So you petition some force beyond life, and you lose this game of blackjack or whatever you're playing back there, right? I'm gonna give you marked by death as a critical condition.
Okay.
And we'll talk about what that means later. What it means for right now is that all of your rolls you take a -1 penalty to. If you get if you get your 4th critical condition, you die. With giant air quotes because it's a comic book, right? But yeah. So this is the way that you actually take damage, just big critical conditions. Mike, I saw your hand moving. Did you have a question?
Nope, just stretching.
Cool. Sorry, my eye is still gunking. Ugh.
It's the time of year for it.
Welcome to my life. So yeah, so you play this, and as you drop the last checker into place, the hand retreats back into the fog, and the spooky chat bubble says, "You win this time." And then then Ruck's location in time is communicated to you in a fashion appropriate to death. And I guess that is, like, there is a big loom sort of materializes in the sort of on one side of you. And if you look over there, you can see, you intuitively know what you're looking at, right? Mm-hmm. And it is the lifelines of creatures, beings, people, right, that are associated with, like, this part of death. And the loom, like, scrolls, right? And just keeps going into the mists of time. And it hits something way, 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 way back in time. And it has, there are a few, like, very simple threads that run through this area. And then there are 3 threads that you recognize, or 4 threads that you recognize as Ruck, Alvarez, that weird cat that was with him, and the dinosaur. And as you're watching, the dinosaur thread, like, turns black. You've never done it before. Because you've rolled through here, actually, I'm going to change your critical condition, because if you want to, you can travel back through time via this loom, right?
Okay.
You can go back to the point in time where they currently are on Death's loom, right?
Mm-hmm.
But your critical condition is going to be something time related. Time weathered. You're going to be time displaced. Did Firefly know you were doing this? Do you have a way of communicating with each other outside of all this? Did you just, like,
I sure
kneel
hope so.
down in an alleyway and call death? What was the?
I probably mentioned something about how I was going to try to find out what happened to Ruck, and make sure that he was okay.
Okay. Would you have made arrangements to bring her with you if you went?
I don't know if I would have even known if that was possible.
Okay.
But maybe I would have had her watching over me as I was doing this.
Okay, yeah. Like, she's watching your back.
Yeah.
And watching you turn, like, even paler, and, like, with this weird dark
Twitch
shroud over you, and flicker a little bit in and out of time. All right. Do you travel backwards in time, and do you try to take her with you?
Yeah, I think I do try. I think I do. I definitely go back, because that's what I would do.
Okay.
So, I mean,
you definitely go back,
yeah.
And that's already rolled into your previous thing. That's fine.
Yeah.
if you want to take her back with you, that feels like, so you're not only dragging her through time, you're like doing it with death powers, right? So I'm going to call that defy danger, protect on somebody's part to get that done.
I mean, you already rolled once. You want me to roll this time?
I mean, if you want to come back, that's fine. Otherwise, you could serve as an anchor for this time frame. I don't know if what would be. I mean, if you want to have adventures in history.
I mean,
There's only one right answer to that.
of course I want to have adventures in history. However, I don't know that it's particularly safe, so it's up to you.
Safe.
You risked burning down 2 black helicopters earlier tonight.
Yeah, but
Safe.
that wasn't going to matter to me if I accidentally burned down black helicopters.
Their desire to go back in time would have increased if they had screwed it up, though.
That's true.
So I don't think the Revenant would inflict this trip on someone else. That's not to say that Firefly wouldn't jump on the opportunity to tag along. So
yeah, I think that's the crux of the thing, because Firefly doesn't know what's going on inside this, right? So would the Revenant respect the fact that Firefly could not give consent to be taken backwards in time?
yeah, no. So I definitely. So it might be something where there's like one instant where I open my eyes again and say something like, I found him. I'm going and initiate the travel.
Space, and
All right.
then you just throw it into Mike's court if he wants to try and follow.
Right. Does Firefly grab on, or does he just let him go?
Take me with you.
Like, okay, where are we going?
A long time ago.
Yeah, I don't even know if like death, like that's not going to give you like a this period in Earth.
Oh no, like I'm not
element.
I'm not expecting
Like,
an answer, right? But
you're going-
I'll starting to grab
The death
Mick,
of the dinosaur.
Mick's hand in what she hopes is a companionable sort of way and not at all creepy, even if the hand is like slightly cold to the touch.
Okay. And the two of you are hurled backwards in time.
Do I need to roll protect?
Yeah, go and give me a protect, defy danger here. A successful roll means that this goes just fine, and everyone is fine. It's all fine.
Good news. I don't protect.
Damn. Okay.
Whoa. Yeah.
She attack.
Yow,
She strike
yeah.
back. She fly in sky.
Okay. Alright, so the good news is you both make it through the time stream just fine. Right?
But to
The
the right
bad
time
news-
stream?
What?
But to the right place?
Yes, no, so Ruck, from your perspective, it's been several hours. What are you doing?
So, all right. So basically, I think I've like rigged together some kind of simple sledge for Alvarez,
Okay.
just because it feels appropriate to the blue. But it's made out of just random shit because there's nothing
Okay.
around to make it out of. So you just I had a hockey stick or and one of the Sand People weapons and just whatever.
The Gappy stick. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And so, okay,
I'm just like
sorry.
dragging him towards the mountain at this point.
Do you have some sort of have you kid bashed together some sort of harness for Sam? Like, is Sam able to drag the sledge for you?
See, I think I was gonna let him scout. It was my
Okay.
idea.
Okay.
This
All
is
right.
rude.
That's just fine. Yeah, so you are like dragging Alvarez and his broken ankle across this terrain, which is sandy. It gets rockier as you sort of move away. So the sort of big picture you're looking at is there's some sort of big body of water right next to you that you came here standing in, right? Could be the ocean, could be a very large lake. It's huge, right? There is sort of a beachy area, and then sort of a rocky area past that, with some hills and things. And there's like a thin layer of this mossy lichen something growing on it. Right? There's no trees. There's no ground cover, or there's no like cover. There's rocks. And you're dragging the sledge across this towards the mountain where all the UFOs are.
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably, I'm picturing this taking a while. Like, I may have to reevaluate this when we get closer and have to think of, like, how to be sneaky. Like,
Okay.
right now I'm not. 'Cause
Okay. Yeah, so you are not. You're making okay time. Like, there's nothing to like get in your way. You don't have to worry about like bushes and things and avoiding stuff. But you're making okay time. You've been doing this for a couple of hours. Sam keeps sort of patting away and patting back and like looking at you and then making hungry noises. And after a few hours of that, Sam has disappeared again, sort of over the next hill, and you hear your communicator go, or your symbiote, time disturbance detected in the immediate vicinity, and then you hear Sam like yarl, like,
Wait, you can do that?
yes, you learn new things about your symbiote every day. Revenant, you come out of your trip through death, which we're going to leave sort of that vague, and standing at the base of a hill, looking up the hill. The hill is covered in some sort of green mossy substance, and padding down the hill towards you is a saber-toothed tiger.
The one we've seen before, yeah.
Recoils at your presence. You recognize,
Yeah.
they all look the same, right?
Yeah.
But it's a saber-toothed tiger. Like, yeah.
It looks like every other saber-toothed tiger I've seen.
Mhm.
But I'm also aware that, this is the timeline that I followed this thread, so I know at least it's the...
Mhm. Yeah. You're not surprised by the fact there's a saber-toothed tiger here.
Yeah.
This seems to be a good sign you're in the right place. Yes. And then the tiger, like, recoils and yarls at you. What are you guys doing?
Obviously, we calling for Ruck.
I don't
Yes,
have...
I don't-
Fire doesn't have a stun setting.
It doesn't. You're not there.
Okay, cool.
Oh. Okay.
Firefly did not make it through. Firefly did not materialize next to you. Firefly did not leave the doors of death in the same place that you did.
Great.
So-
Okay. So yeah, as long as the cat is keeping its distance, I'm not going to do anything.
Okay. Okay.
I'll just
Yeah,
see if
so-
I can,
Sorry.
if I can find anyone around me.
Yeah, the cat sort of tries to collect its dignity and turns and pads back, sort of bounds up the hill, and you can see it sort of look over the top of the hill. And I mean, Ruck, you see Sam standing like the next hill over, sort of howling in your direction.
Does your
yes.
universal translator work for cat?
Not really. This isn't a species that I mean, it's collating data, so like slowly you're getting more words from Sam, right? And then like the only one that's coming through right now is asshole. Which is asshole.
They're not certain it's that or it's my name. He's not
Yeah,
certain.
exactly. Could go either way. So yeah, you are reunited, the two of you. Alvarez is basically unconscious, in pain, shock, whatever at this point.
Make things light guys here.
And I could put him under and, do the levitating thing so he's not additional damage.
I kind of figured that was what was about to happen. Yeah, you're gonna like make a grab grip for him, and carry him off. You two can discuss your plans and whatnot. Let's cut to Firefly for the moment. Firefly. It is dark. It is warm and it is squishy and you can't breathe.
Well, I mean, two of those problems are solved by the proper application of fire.
It's true.
It will exacerbate the third, but I light up the area.
Okay, so you shoot fire. Where does fire come out of your hands? Do you have some sort of aperture somewhere? What is the method by which this happens?
So I have a I am pyrokinetic.
Okay.
I have a psychic amplification harness built into the Firefly suit, and flame projectors on my gauntlets and back for rocketeering.
Okay.
Or possibly roller skating, depending on how Bronze Age this is.
So flying is impossible without your gear? Can you fly on your own?
My power profile has... I'm not sure.
So the way you can tell that, so your gear is going to be an advantage. All right. Advantage is a thing that I can take away from you, essentially. Right. Your powers, whatever's on your power profile as a power, whether it's simple or borderline or whatever.
Yeah. Okay. So the powers are pyrokinetic with control issues, national class gymnast, and tech whiz. My advantages are psychic amplification harness, winged rocket pack, flame projectors.
Okay. Okay, so it might be that your fire, you channel your fire through your rocket pack to fly, or it might be that the whole thing allows you to control it in a way that lets you routinely fly.
Yeah, let's say that like I can't like project like flamethrowery awesomeness like without help. Okay.
So what's gonna happen? You fire up your fire. Right? Mm-hmm. And it works. You get this smell of like bacon?
Guttering kerosene. No, bacon. Awesome.
And then you feel the world shift under you and you fall.
Okay.
You hit the ground on your back, looking up at the sky, and above you there is the like smoldering remains of a Tyrannosaurus Rex, the time bomb dangling from it, and about 25 feet above that, there is a flying saucer dragging it through some sort of tractor beam. You land, you're covered in Tyrannosaurus Rex parts, guts, a fall, whatever you want to envision it being. You just got tauntauns and burnt your way out. What do you do immediately?
I mean, I think I need to figure out how to clean off the gunk first.
Okay.
I think that's probably the first thing in their mind.
Bathe in fire?
I don't think that I'm immune to fire.
Okay.
Oh, that's fun. Yeah, so a quick like inspection of your gear, and the saucer continues going. Like it doesn't seem to notice that you fell out.
Yeah.
As the quick inspection of your gear shows that it's gunked real bad.
Right.
Like your thrusters are full of chunks of T-Rex. Your psychic harness is like covered in T-Rex goop.
Right.
This whole thing is unusable until you find a way to fix it.
Right. So I do have the concept of being able to repair my own gear,
Okay.
But like I'd have to take it all off in order to do that, right?
You probably would. You probably need to figure out some way of doing, like, you can fix all your stuff, right? Like if you've
Sure, but it's
you've
like
got like the technical know-how to do that. Do you usually do that at, like, a workshop somewhere, or is that like?
I imagine that it requires like Rocketeer, like because the whole character is cribbed, or not whole character, but like that concept is cribbed from that era of comics where like the Rocketeer has their garage, right? The auto mechanic garage they have to fly under, and like it's like underneath like a Bob's Big Boys or something, right?
Okay, yeah.
With a giant mascot that has to be moved aside to be able to get access to the garage. So like it's
Okay.
probably heavy.
The giant mascot that like tilts out of the way and then you fly
Right.
down.
Like ridiculous armature required in order to do this feat that should just be like a hatch in the ceiling.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah. So yeah, you're probably gonna need some help with that, or like to get yourself back to civilization before you can do that. You still got your fire powers. You still got all that stuff.
right.
But the stuff that gives you the fine control and whatnot is not serviceable currently.
Okay.
You are standing in a sort of rocky expanse that is covered, that is dotted sort of here and there with patches of some sort of green fungus moss looking stuff. If you look in the direction of flight of the saucer, you're looking at Mount Argent, or what will probably become eventually Mount Argent. And it's a ways distant yet. If you could fly, this would be no big deal. You could just like zip over there or whatever.
Right.
Currently, not so much.
Yeah, I do that thing that sort of comic area, age area, where you pull off the helmet to indicate that you're damaged, right?
Yeah.
And like so the face mask is off and it's like slung over my shoulder or whatever.
Okay.
So I'm in revealing my identity territory, right?
All right.
As I slog forward, like at a casual jog, like not right.
Okay.
The Kirk speed of exploration, right?
Okay.
Do our communicators work out of time? And we got them from the Time Force Voyeur guy. You think they would work no matter where we are, but
Well, I'm
so that it's a
sure.
level of tech.
Yeah, I'm sure it works anywhere inside sort of that domain of where the city lies in time, right? I'm not sure it works out here. That feels like, yeah, somebody give me a justification and a role for why they would work. Anybody?
This seems like Jonathan's territory of hot wiring communicators.
And
you
Ruck's
like
an expert in that
hack it?
field.
Yeah.
Do you have like a portable satellite in that bag of yours you can just shoot up into space?
Just be sure to load fish in there first.
Well, so I guess there's a question here: are we effectively cutting back to Revenant and Ruck? Because I mean, if he lets on the fact that
Yeah.
oh yeah, Firefly is supposed to be with me.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
oh.
Yeah.
Ruck's trying to cobble together something to bring our. Yeah, let's see here. What would he have that would have? If I remember this correctly, he is gonna like a huge radio station thingy. Like he stole from somewhere, or he didn't want them to have, But like I'm talking like a vending machine thing, which is actually a pretty big push for him to pull it back out
Okay.
and set up a repeater station so that he can talk to Firefly wherever they are around here.
All right. So a repeater station. Are we talking like something that's stationary?
Oh yeah. It's gonna get set up and then just kind of set like left here.
Okay. All right.
It solves my immediate problem of we got to find Firefly. That's important.
Okay, yeah. Give me. I'm gonna need a roll for that one. Let's.
I mean, it's a power or something. What do I do for just power stuff?
Yeah. So, well, it needs to fit into one of these other things. I'm gonna say, give me a defy danger with your investigate, probably. With the downsides being broadcast related, most likely.
Yay! I'm off to investigate.
I mean, unless you got a better, like, did you talk somebody into giving you this station?
Well, the only thing I can think of is protect, because I'm trying to, like, intention wise, is I'm trying to, like, back up with Firefly and doing this because of the teammate thing. But I don't know. I mean, does that make sense to you narratively? I mean, investigate. I mean,
Yeah, I'll buy that in this instance. Let's do that. Let's do that for right now, and then I'll check later and see if that actually makes sense. But I like that. I like that idea.
Oh,
doesn't matter.
You have to burn bonds before, right?
Yeah. Do you think you would have if you had thought of it?
Get hold of Firefly? Yeah. Actually, that doesn't make any sense to me, because I was thinking I'd burn Firefly's bond, because, like, I'm trying to figure out a way I could do it in a way that would annoy her.
Well, yeah, so you're, like, talking smack on her when it goes online, right? Like,
hey, fire chick! Come on! How hard is it to find me? I am the only thing taller than an inch off the ground right now.
But I can't hear him, right?
Featureless plane.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you burn the bomb,
fun.
so it's at 7+. You burn the bomb with Firefly. So
Gotcha.
It's gonna be one of those situations where it starts with, at least, you hearing something like, "Oh God damn it, this stupid person can't work the communicator. What is this?" And then,
well, she's probably like real insecure about being a hero to begin with, right? So simply not actually that good at being a hero, not actually that good at being a technologist, like any of those things is enough. Like your back-assward, shitty wannabe knockoff hero that we got from the B universe.
Mm-hmm.
Like, especially compared to Ruck, who just like, wow, super space tech. Yeah, whatever. That's okay. Like, his attitude towards it is completely different because, well, the whole setting thing.
Yeah. She's also a female college student in the 60s or 70s, which means she probably catches a lot of that from there too. It's probably not a great look from her perspective. I'm sure that's very frustrating going in. I like that. But yeah, you can hear each other over the top. And for 7, this other thing's happening as well that you're going to find out about in a minute. Probably.
Yeah.
Oh boy, it's the what's a mean thing to say to Ruck back? Like the old drunken right. Unfortunately I respect like the car mechanic and the professor, so I can't it's the drunken I mean even like a college professor
have a job.
Right.
Yeah.
The drunken layabout.
There you go. Go for.
Are you? Have you deigned to apply some of that futuristic knowledge for us, Ruck, or are you still? Yeah.
Hey, I haven't had a drink in several million years at this point.
Well, I won't have had.
I won't have had. Right. We all know that you have a flask in that bag, so calm down.
The whole distillery, probably.
Is it run by goblins? It should be run by goblins.
Yeah. There's a goblin distillery in that bag, isn't there? Okay. Yes, you're having this conversation. Your communicators probably have some fairly primitive locator beacon that if Ruck really wants to show off, he can make slightly more precise. But it sounds like you're all sort of headed the same direction anyway, since there's one landmark.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of is. It's worth pointing out that Firefly is the closest to the mountain and to the UFO that's towing your probable way home. But yeah, so do you folks meet up? Firefly, do you keep trudging on ahead to not have to deal with these people face to face right now? What's
Well, I
What's the
mean,
plan?
we know that we're all going, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
it doesn't make sense to
The
backtrack when it takes me 45 minutes to get on Emerson.
time whoopee thingy is attached to the dinosaur corpse. Have you seen it?
Yeah, I burned my way out of it.
Thingy, did you? Well, you're still here, so probably not.
I missed the
Really
first
hitting
part of that.
Makes it go.
Yeah, it's.
You didn't hit the time thingy, did you?
I have no idea. It was dark. I made fire.
It was dark that way.
It seemed like a good idea at the time. In retrospect, it was still a good idea. Fuck you. Probably not, fuck you.
I stand by
There
my
you
decision.
go.
Right.
Fire does usually help in my experience. All right, yeah. So we kind of need that if we're gonna go home. I think. Unless
Okay.
wait,
Well, all of my fancy toys are broken at the moment, so maybe get Dead Guy to float you over here, and like we could all float towards the T-Rex at walking speed.
you can't just. Oh, yeah, that's right. Never mind.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's a pain point right now. Like in it like the comic book, she's like dragging the rocket harness across uneven terrain, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's getting all like
It's a good
scuffed
look.
up and
Yeah.
yeah.
And like the fact that it's getting scuffed up is probably worse than the fact that it doesn't work right now.
Yeah.
Because Chrome,
This is
man,
like
Chrome
a-
takes so much effort.
Yeah, there's at least like a protective layer of like T-Rex
Guts.
juice. Right, yeah. Yeah. So you all catch back up to each other. And begin the hike to the mountain.
Yeah.
As you get closer to the mountain, it's a ways away, so it's going to take a while. And you don't see any other like living creatures. There's not really any plants. It's just this like lichen, moss stuff. You do see a number of those, flying saucers zipping around the mountain, but none of them seem to pay a whole lot of attention to you. Before too long, you're standing sort of at the base of the mountain, and can see up it in a way that sort of gives you the view that one might have from the nearest points in the city, which you've probably all seen. And it looks pretty similar to what you remember being. There's both more and less of it. Some parts have not eroded the same way. Other parts have not finished forming. There aren't the giant, like, weird steam vents off the side that you remember. But yeah, this is the mountain. You do notice that the UFOs are sort of going in and out at what looks like a sort of a not quite ground level, a little ways up the mountain, but not quite ground level. There's sort of a slot that opens up in the rock, and they turn sideways and shoot through. And then every once in a while, one will shoot out. Other than that, it looks like a mountain. The ones that are sort of floating around the top areas of the mountain are occasionally like there's colorful beams, most of them sort of like shades of green, hitting the mountain, carving parts out. There seems to be construction stuff being levitated into place with those tractor beams. It looks like they're building something, but they're using the mountain as a base for it.
So did we see where the dinosaur corpse went?
The dinosaur corpse sped along in front of you pretty successfully. On your walk here, you haven't found it. It's possible it's been taken inside or dumped somewhere that it's not going to cause problems. They did use the phrase, well, Ruck can tell you they use the phrase quarantine, which seems like they're probably going to put it somewhere safe, you would expect.
So we need to go inside.
Not a terrible call.
That or find where they keep the quarantine stuff? I don't know. Is there like a prison or a jail?
I imagine quarantines are usually real close to entrances. That you want to, if someone's coming in, you want to be able to quarantine it right away, not drag it through your entire base. I would imagine.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we have to go inside then. All right. This will be fine.
It looks like the climb should be doable, if that's what you want to do. Alvarez might be difficult to get up there. But I guess he's levitating now, so it's not really that big a deal, is it?
I can make a climb easier for everyone.
Force bubble everyone up there. I like that. Okay. Yeah, you can levitate up there pretty easily. I guess at that point, the major danger would be not catching a flying saucer in the face as you went in.
You put it like that.
Yeah.
I think we're all relying on a dead guy to protect us in that case.
Yep.
Great.
All right. So are we levitating up the side of the mountain? Is that what's going on?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So you levitate up there, and you get to where the rock opens, and it's not immediately apparent where it is, where it opens from. You're pretty sure that this is where it ought to be, but you can't see seams. There's no latch. There's no visible mechanisms on the outside.
I'm not sure I can burn through solid stone, but I would try if all my shit wasn't broken because of that damn T-Rex.
Hey, I thought you did the fire thing naturally.
There's performance boosters, really.
You gotta believe in the heart of the flame.
So I should be able to, in theory, find. I could shadow travel through to the other side to find out where things line up, I suppose.
You could. That's actually a really good idea.
Unless it's perfectly bright in there. You don't know.
The question, yeah. So you can find a shadow. I would assume you can find a shadow. Do you have a sense for where shadows are?
Yeah, I imagine it's like walking down a hallway for me, where it's just this is another place I can travel and I can follow it to its natural, take it to the next door down the hallway to.
Okay. Yeah. So you can sense there's shadows inside. You should be able to make it through. The really important question, if you try that, is what's going to happen to these guys on the outside? Are you still levitating them? Are you going to try to find a crevice for them to hang out in while you go inside?
Is it a sheer face at this point, or is this somewhere where I can find an anchor for them?
You might be able to find an anchor for them. It's pretty steep. It's not sheer.
Okay.
But it's significant. Alvarez might not be in a good way. The cat can theoretically do it, but it probably won't be great. Are you levitating the cat? Did you bring Sam with you?
I imagine Ruck wouldn't let him leave him behind.
Yeah, it would be an ordeal for them probably to be out here there while you did this.
I think I probably won't be supporting as much of the people who are conscious as weight, but I will still maintain a lighter gravity field for them to make it easier for them to wait for me to.
Okay.
So I'll be doing two things at once, I suppose.
Okay. Yeah, that's gonna suck a little bit. It's gonna definitely sap your consciousness, or your concentration. to do that. The mechanical upshot being that there may be defy danger rules later to make sure you kept that concentration in place while doing things that could endanger our folks. Yeah. So I guess the rest of you are clamoring to the mountainside. Serenity, are you attempting to support your gear as well?
Well, I'm not going to let it drop. That would be bad.
Okay.
Do you want me to hold it?
Can you hold it with, like, ease or flying or something?
When we get back. I mean, it's not working for you.
He wants to hammer space your stuff.
Oh, sure.
I mean, that's basically what Ruck does.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. I'm sure your booze goblins will take care of it while it's in there.
Can you
know exactly? Yeah.
Can you selectively pull things out of the bag, or can you only? Does it have to be pulled out in the way it was put in? Like, could you pull the gear out without all the gunk on it, and leave the gunk in the bag?
That sounds like what Zach was saying. But yeah, do so. But like, it would be hard and probably like a push thingy, like Zach was saying.
Yeah, it'd probably be a push because I'm imagining. I don't know exactly how your bag works, but like, yeah.
Well, and like the idea I have for the bag, well, like the elsewhere thing is that like things don't change there. Like, you know what I mean? So like you could throw a live grenade in there, and then it would still be live as soon as you pull it out. Like a year later, it doesn't matter. Just like time really doesn't happen in the bag.
And make your distillery work really slowly then.
So it doesn't really work that way. But it's a great refrigerator.
Yes.
I imagine like you have your like bottles of wine or aging whiskey in there. You just put it in.
Damn it!
300-year-old Scotch, and then nothing. Yeah. Okay. So you're all clinging to the side of the mountain, relying on the Revenant's ability to manipulate gravity and make it slightly easier to do so. Sam registers his unhappiness about this whole situation. Is Alvarez just like floating still?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, didn't you trance him? So that he's.
Oh yeah, he's out cold. Yeah.
Yeah, he's in a coma-like state, but so he's not going to be able to hang onto the wall. So he's going to need either lashed to somebody or levitated. Yeah, and then you can step through.
Yeah. Hopes.
Step on through then.
All right. On the other side, you step through. You always step into the darkness because you're always in shadow. Right? Mm-hmm. You step through into darkness, and you are looking at a fairly narrow, very, very long corridor that looks to be sort of custom made for like the sideways flying saucers. It appears to go ways back into the mountain. It's not well lit. There's like running lamps.
Mm-hmm.
But not much else. There do appear to be some like maintenance tunnels and shafts and stuff around here. There's wiring and the like cables and things hanging out of the walls. It all has sort of a like purple green metallic crystal sheen to it. All could be stuff that you could potentially open the door with. It's kind of hard to tell. Not super your bag as to how that gets done necessarily. Yeah, what do? You don't see any people around or things that would be people analogs immediately.
Are you short of trying to tear the entire door off the wall?
Tear the entire door off the wall.
Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to think of how the Revenant would deal with this.
Make its gravity negative.
Yeah, that's kind of what the main thing I had thought here.
Well, the other thing you could potentially be doing, and this might be a thing that Revenant would think about, is you mentioned that the quarantines are generally fairly close to the entranceways, right?
Mm-hmm.
There are passages and things around you. You could theoretically go get the bomb and take it back out, too. You don't necessarily have to get everybody else in here.
Okay.
Just putting that out there.
I will take a quick recon around the area then, and just sort of pop
Okay.
in and out a couple of areas to see what I can find real quick before I start tearing down the building.
Yeah. So yes, before you start tearing down the mountain.
The mountain, yes.
Yeah. So you sort of look around a little bit, and between sort of immediately off to one side, there is what on Earth would be a maintenance tunnel sort of area that has a bunch of different, like, so with the same purple green sheen, sort of like clamshell boxes on the wall, with coax cable, with like cabling running the length. And this is, a decent sized area. It looks like if you really wanted to mess up the door mechanism, this is probably where you would start. On the other side, across the way, there is sort of a big open area cut into the rock that is just a shaft downward.
Okay.
And these are on either side of that sort of track that runs further into the mountain.
How far does the maintenance tunnel?
Maintenance
run?
tunnels, maintenance tunnel is long, but not super long. It's 100 feet or so of these things. There's a couple of doors that lead off to it into rooms that have like a bunch of blinky lights and things in them, in like weird Superman 1 crystalline Fortress of Solitude looking things in them, basically.
Okay, I feel like Theron's really out of his depth with alien technology, and he really wants to get Future Boy or Space Boy in here to take a look,
I love
because he's been
those
so
code
great with technology lately.
Oh, I love the fact that like I'm
names.
horrible with it, like actual stat wise, but whatever.
Yeah.
Space Future Boy.
So I'm gonna take a look at one of those wall panels to see if I can figure out maybe how to get this door open without breaking.
All right. That sounds a lot like an examine roll.
Okay.
So it should be an investigate. So roll plus
Which-
investigate.
It's just a flat roll. A 2. Lovely.
Wow.
Snake eyes.
Guess who's even
Okay.
better with technology?
So the good news is this is all starting to make sense. All of this
Great.
makes a suddenly you have just straight Pepe Sylvia the situation. You know what Carolyn Accounting is about. All of this thing, it's like you just ran red twine all over this wall, and suddenly all of these things make sense, right? So you know that if you walk down this corridor and pop open this next panel, there should be a lever in there that when you pull it will open that door and let Space Boy in here to properly examine the situation.
I'm glad I figured out this plan. Let's put it in motion.
All right. So you walk over and you clamshell does the crazy like rotation open, and inside there's 2 levers. You're fairly confident it's the one on the left. They look like the big like shutdown levers. They look like the let's stop the presses, stop the line levers. You reach in and you pull one, right?
Yeah.
You have second thoughts right now? That's fine.
No, actually, I was just realizing that roll is actually a 1 out of 2 because I have a -1 to all my rolls right now.
Oh God, yeah.
All right,
So
it's,
yeah, it's even-
it's still less than 6.
Yeah, no, I'm just
Right,
realizing
so-
that
Yeah, so
I
you
just realized I need to remember to add that basically later on. But yeah, so yeah, no, pull
you
away.
pull the lever, and suddenly the entire hallway that you're in starts blinking like this lime green, and you're not sure where the light's coming from, but the whole thing is like warning lights in this crazy lime green color. Right?
You need warning lights when you're opening doors, I suppose.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Out in the trackway that you came through, there are those running lights have all switched from this like pinkish orange color to themselves strobing bright green.
Okay.
And while you're standing there looking at it, you're sort of looking out the doorway of this maintenance tunnel towards the track, and suddenly a flying saucer just like right in front of you. And then you can hear another one behind it, and behind it, and behind it, behind it. And that track, I don't know if you go look at it or what, but it fills with flying saucer. And suddenly the door starts opening. There's a hiss of air, and all of you outside can hear this. There's a hiss of air. There's this huge grinding noise as this giant stone door sort of peels away from itself. And then out of this door, 2 dozen, 3 dozen.
If I can, so before they get past, can I put up another wall in front of them?
You can try. Sure.
So yeah, I haven't used this on camera before, but so in front of the first flying saucer, this I don't know if it's like a bone wall or something not right looking is just going to slam through the entire height of the tunnel.
Okay.
It's probably purple shadows, screaming faces, whatever kind of undead motif you want. Yeah.
Yeah, that you did before. Okay. All right. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just gonna slam into place in front of the first flying saucer. We'll see if I can stop them.
All right. So what I'm going to call that? I'm going to call that as. Are you trying to take out the first saucer, or are you trying to seize control of the situation and keep them from going outside?
This is probably a seize control.
All right. So give me a seize control. This is a pretty just like straight up overt use of your power, right? Like you're just like throwing a lot of your death magic at this problem and hoping to stop it from happening.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a smash. So roll plus smash. The rest of you outside can hear the doors opening, can see the doors opening, and if you're close enough to the thing, and bear in mind it's going to be like 40 feet across or something like that, you may have to like crawl out of the way to keep it from opening on you. You can look down and see this like line of flying saucers, and then this horrific wall of like faces and hands materialize out of nothing in front of you. It's a 7. So you get to choose one. You seize control over what was contested. In this case, I'm going to say it's like the exit to the mountain.
Yeah.
Right. You prevent yourself from ending up at a disadvantage or in harm's way, or you put your opponent at a disadvantage.
I seize control.
Okay, so you seize control of these flying saucers that are about to try to exit. Okay.
Yes.
And you catch, like, the one in front, like, tries to do its exit routine and like hit, and you can see it like accelerate in the blink of an eye, and then it hits your wall of hands and faces, and it grinds to a halt and sticks, and you can hear the one immediately behind it start like making the capacitor whine as though it's about to zip forward. And then we cut to outside. I'll let you folks decide. Either everyone outside can give me a defy danger roll to keep from falling off the mountain, or the Revenant can give me one defy danger roll to maintain their powers even while doing this other super impressive thing.
I'm fine continuing with these wonderful rolls I've been getting here.
I'm into it. Why don't you give me a protect? Roll plus protect.
I mean, someone want to aid? You can do that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you totally can. What's the process by which that happens?
They're pulling themselves in at the same time.
It's true. Yeah. I think everybody has roughly the same bond right now, right?
I have one with Ruck and
Yeah.
Revenant.
Okay.
Do you have to burn it in order to assist?
No, it's just you roll your bond and you get. It's just like normal aid or interfere with any aid of the power.
I have no idea how this works thematically, but I'm happy to roll it mechanically.
I think what happens for you to aid or interfere is you are sitting there sort of clinging to the wall, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you start to feel the gravity get stronger for you again. And so you start melting your hands into the wall a little bit, like melting handholds. And then you notice Alvarez starting to drop out of the corner of your eye, and you lunge for him. Right? You're going to help hold these people up.
All right. Partial.
All right. Partial success. They take +1 or -2 forward, your choice. I assume you want to... Or you avoid taking harm in the doing, I guess, would be the...
I'll take +1, and I'm happy to take harm in the doing.
Okay. Yeah, so you... Between the burning and the catching, you've given yourself some not fun injuries there, probably. So why don't you take a moderate consequence of burn contusion?
Okay.
Yeah, like you threw out your shoulder catching Alvarez, basically, to take the pressure off.
I was concussed.
Okay.
Like your +1 made the day, saved the day though.
Yay!
So you managed to keep everybody afloat with just a little bit of a waiver that does not splat Alvarez, much to everyone's good cheer. I don't even know I don't know where I was going with those words. I like hanging it there. I'm seeing a lot of droopy eyelids. I feel like Sunday might today.
I apologize. I was on a camping trip with my 7-year-old last night.
That's totally fine. I am okay with calling it here and doing a cliffhanger at the cliffhanger at the end of, or at the moment of potentially exploding mountainside. So we'll come back to that in we'll come back to that next week.
Yeah. We'll do a giant double-sized issue.
That's right. Double-sized issue next week. Next year, issue 2, part 2.
Part 2.
Part 2 of Argent City Heroes. Will they or won't they blow up the mountain and kill Alvarez accidentally? Thanks for tuning in, everybody. I had fun running, as always. And to you out there on the internet, thanks for watching. We are That D&D Podcast, obviously here on Twitch or YouTube if you're watching us here. Also on Twitter, Facebook, all of That D&D Podcast. We're always happy to have people come hang out with us while we be weird and blow up mountains and tauntaun our way out of dinosaurs. So, good night, internet, and good luck.